enough credit at all. We act like God don't know what we need. We act like God don't realize the bills we got in the mailbox. We act like God don't understand the desires of our heart. And so what we do is we try to do His job for Him. And that's sad. You know what? And we talked about this several months ago about the sparrow. The sparrow is just a little bitty bird. I mean, how can this thing go out and kill and devour anything? It can't. It's got to kind of determine on grain and stuff like that falls from the trees. How does that sparrow eat? How does he go out and provide for himself? Well, God's wired him that way, and God has all the food in the world for that little sparrow. And if God would take enough time to take care of that sparrow, what about you? Do you not think He knows you? Do you not think that He cares for you? We've talked about it in how big God is and how amazing God is. God created you, and there's not another one like you. In some cases, that's good, because I've been around you, okay? But the thing about it is there's not another one like you. And when you were created, some of you guys may have come in here thinking that Mom and Daddy created you. They had a little bit of part, but they didn't know what they were doing when it started, I promise you, okay? But now, God reached down into your mother's womb and actually formed your DNA, formed you to exactly the way He desired you to be. And guess what? It was perfect. Because you know why? My God don't make mistakes. Although we may think He does, we may see a child that may be disabled, or a child a person that's not all together. God made that child just the way he was supposed to be made. And it's by His glory and by His way. So here's my thing. Why in the world do we doubt His capability of taking care of me? Taking care of my family? Taking care of the things that we need? Here's the problem. The problem is we try to do all the taking care of. We try to set up for jobs and money. We try to set up on all this other stuff and doing all these other things. And we start taking God's job away from Him. Now, I'm not saying you just need to go back and lay in a recliner and go, all right, God, here I am, fix me. Bring it on in. He desires us to wake up in the morning and work and do the things that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be obedient to Him. We're supposed to be in order under Him. And when we do those things, oh, He gets to shine. Because through that, He can work through us. Check this out. Let me finish this. He says, but seek first. Boy, underline that word and circle it. Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So often, we go, and you've heard me talk about this, we go at the end of it, and we say, man, God, you don't understand. I need this bill paid. God, you don't understand. I need this done. God, help me, help me, help me. And by the way, that's in the afternoon when it should have been in the morning. Because the first thing in the morning, we need to say, God, today's your day. God, you know the things and the challenges and the storms of this day is going to bring already. And God, I can't do it by myself. God, I'm going to come running to you. I'm going to make that 911 call. Help me, Jesus. Help me, help me, help me. But what if I started off that day today? First thing, say, God, today's your day. God, I want to be under your authority. God, I want to move today exactly the way you have me move. God, when that storm comes up, give me right now the wisdom, the mercy, and the grace to handle that storm through you. I promise you guys, it'd change your day. It'd change your life. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for life change. Now check this out. The next one is order communicates priority. Now this is where it started stepping on Andy's toes really, really, really quick, okay? Order communicates priority. The thing about it is we say that all this stuff out loud. Man, Amy, I'm your husband, and I want to be the husband that you desire. And I know the answer. Matter of fact, we talked about it in Connections this morning. We talked about the truth, but not living the truth. A lot of you guys know the truth. You know how you're supposed to treat your wife. The Bible tells us, and she tells you. But anyway, you're supposed to know that. We do know that. We know what God's called us to do. We know that our job. We know our job as fathers too. And I'm picking on guys a little bit because you know what? You're first in that family. Because when it happens to you, when you get in line with God, oh, your family's going to line up, guys. I promise you. Now check this out. We know the answer. We know the right answer. We know all the things that we're supposed to be doing, yet we do not apply these things. A lot of times in our life, growing up, I knew right from wrong, and you guys know right from wrong, for sure, on a Friday night. Work with me, guys. Let's go back to the 80s, all right? or the 90s, late 80s. Go back there, and on Friday night, man, you're hanging out, and you know, everybody's wanting to be popular, everybody wants to do the right thing, and you know, you're on football team and all this good stuff, and the party is over at so-and-so's house, and we go over there, and at that moment, you have a choice. You have a choice to do right or do wrong. You have a choice to stand or to blend. I want to tell you something, guys. This world is dying to people wearing camouflage. And I'm not talking about being in finger in the American flag color. I'm talking about we are blending in with this world. We're blending in, and God doesn't want that. God wants us to stand and to know, no doubt, people know who we are and who we serve, who's first in our life. If I have to go and I have to tell you that I'm a Christian, if I have to go and tell you that I'm a good father or a good husband, I'm not doing a very good job. Hello? A lot of times we go through our life and we have to convince people that we're Christians. There should be no doubt. They should see it in the way we act. They should see it just on the appearance of our face alone. Because you know what? We get so caught up in this world and winning the lottery or a great job offer comes. I don't know, you come up with it. You come up with something that's going to put that smile on your face. What compares to eternal life? I mean, guys, we get caught up in this world, in this flesh, so quickly. And the thing about it is, I think churches have gotten away from that in teaching that. We are so wired by the world. Because you've got a redneck trying to run a piece of equipment up here that I have no idea how to do it, and that's why I'm stumbling through this thing. But you know what? I'm not trying to adapt this thing. I'm still trying to share the message and do the thing I'm supposed to do. But we get so caught up in this world wanting to do these things when it's not about that. It's not about this. Because it's about our heart, it's about our soul, and that's what is going to take us into eternity through the grace of God. And when there's a young person, an adult, that gives their life to Christ, it's the greatest thing that they'll ever go through. It's the most important decision that they'll ever make. But yet, it's just like golf clap. Now this afternoon, how many Steeler fans we got? Okay, good. How many Packer fans we got? Okay, good. How many fans we got their team didn't make it? Exactly. But now, the Super Bowl's going to take off this afternoon. Okay, how many fans of commercials have we got? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm watching it for, okay? But this afternoon, when that TV show comes on and there's a bunch of guys on the field and they start slamming heads, there's going to be folks going nuts. Yeah, did you see that? That was awesome. This morning, 2 young people went through baptism. They stood before a bunch of adults and said, you know what? I'm not ashamed of God. I'm going to be baptized. I'm giving my life. I gave my life, and I'm following through baptism. And I'm not dogging you out, but how many just stood up and cheered because that's the greatest thing that they could have ever done in their life? This world has changed us, guys. This world has gotten us very confused because flesh is leading the way, and God's not first. This morning, I challenge you, put God first in your life. Put God first in your family. Put Him first in your marriage. Andy, you don't understand my marriage. My marriage is just about over with. We're just riding this thing out. You put Him first in it, and He'll change it forever. I promise. So let's keep going right quick, and let's look at the order communicates priority. In Revelations 2:2-4, it says, I know your deeds, your hard work, and your perseverance. It says, yet I'll hold against you because you have forsaken your first love. Guys, I want to tell you something. Churches across America this morning are going through a systematic thing, and they're going through the sermon, they're going through the last song, they're taking up offering, and they're hitting the door. And there's no life change. I want to tell you something. If that happens at this church, any day, if that happens at this church, I hope I'm no longer your pastor. Because if it's not about Him, and it's not about life change, and it's not about real, I don't want to be a part of it. Because He is real, and He is viable, and He is alive in our life if we'll allow Him to, if we put Him first. And I pray that this church always puts Him first. I promise. All right? The next thing that I want us to look at, order impacts the rest. Order impacts the rest. Let me ask you something. You've gone through the same days that I have where you woke up and You woke up late. That's about 90% of the time at my house. Woke up late trying to get here and stuff, and you got in a rush. And, well, God, I just didn't have time for you. Well, God, I just really, I'm sorry. I'll catch up with you in a little while. Or what about tithe? Ooh, gosh, there he goes talking about money. All right. What about tithe in our life? Often in our life, me and Amy, I'll just use us as an example. We would do this, and sad thing about it, we may still do it. I don't know. But we do this. It's like, all right, man, I forgot to write my tithe check this week to church. We'll catch up on Wednesday night, or we'll get it next Sunday. Okay? You feel me? Everybody's grinning all of a sudden. All right? What if on Monday, when you woke up, you went ahead and wrote that check, or set that aside? Well, Andy, you don't know the bills I got, man. I got to pay my bills. Hello, Sparrow. Do you not think he knows you? Do you not think he knows your bills? But the thing about it is all of a sudden, what if, and see, I'm talking about money because we all get tore up about money. I get tore up about money, especially when they talk about it in church. So don't leave here going, he talks about money today, because this is not a money thing. This is a principle thing. But money just is where it kind of stabs us and sticks us a little bit. What if we trusted God with our money and not us? Because I assure you, he's a lot better accountant than you are. His calculator don't match your calculator. But I always want to go with his. It's amazing. The thing about it is, guys, is when he truly sees us, give it up. Whether it be an addiction, whether it be our marriage, whether it be whatever it may be. When he sees us give it up, that's when he gets to take control. And that's when it changes. That's when things are totally blessed beyond your imagination. Anything that you could think for. Well, man, I know what I can think for. I can think of $1 million. I can think of a brand new truck or a brand new boat or a boat from a guy that's supposed to... Never mind. I love you, Erky. Anyway, the thing about it is when we give that up, he knows it. He knows our heart. He knows our heart. And right here in this Bible, right here in Revelation, it's telling you, he knows how real you are. He knows when you're truly saying it's yours. Often, we talked about this altar. We talked about coming down before here and leaving it at the altar. And we get up and we grab a little bit of it as we go back. And guess what? That little bit of it festers in your life and takes you right back over before you get out the door. When we come before God and we give it up, that's what we got to do. We got to give it up. The thing about it in tithe, it's one of those things that we're like, man, I sure could use that money the rest at the end of the week. And say, I mean, we want to go out to eat, or we got to buy this, we got to buy that. Well, what if you give it to God in the beginning, and let's see what he does at the end of the week? Well, we're not willing to test that because it's our money, and money matters. But you know what? I'd much rather it be in his hand than in mine, because he can do so much more with it. I'm just asking you, challenge yourself with that. This ain't about a money thing. It's about a principle thing. All right? The order impacts the rest. In Proverbs 3, 6 through 10, it says, in all your ways acknowledge him. Honor the Lord with your wealth. First, the first fruits of of all your crops. Right there. Let me stop right there and let me explain that, where it talks about wealth and stuff. You know, you heard about the thing in the Bible where the widow lady come down and all she had was one shackle that she gave. But it was everything. It was everything. We laugh at it and we go, man, a shackle, hey, I got that right here somewhere in the length of my pocket. But what if that shackle is $10,000 to you? What if it's $1,000? What if it's $100? What if it's $20? Whatever it is, whatever maxes you out, whatever puts you in that surrender mode or that mode of going, God, you're really going to take over here. That's where your heart lets go and God gets to take over. The thing about it is, guys, is okay, let me strike we. Let me say I. I'm willing to give to where it don't hurt. But where you give and it hurts, where you give and it, whew, can't believe I let go of that. Man, let me have a little bit of that back. When you get to that point, that's where God gets to take over and you truly trust in him. The thing about it is, guys, when we start talking finances, we're like, time out, Junior. I'm out on this because my money's my money. No, your money's God's money. Don't ever forget that. That ain't a threat. That's the truth. It's his. Don't think it's not. All right? So look right here. It says, then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with a new wine. Right there, God, in God's word, he's saying, test me. I dare you. Now, God don't do all the testing, but he's saying, test me. He says, if you want to believe it, he says, you give to it hurts. You lay it out there. Whether it be something physical, whether it be money, whether it be time, whether it be whatever. If you want, hey, you want a blessing, you go back yonder and keep them little snot boogers back yonder. He'll blow your mind. Well, I ain't going to give him a chance because I don't like them things. You might. You might, because what if you go back there and you're able to do something that totally blows their mind and they turn their life over to Christ? Guys, I want to tell you something. It ain't about flesh. It's about him. If we give our time to him, if we give our money to him, if we give whatever it is, whatever's valuable to you, you give it to him through sacrifice, he can take over and blow your mind. Now, I don't want you to think I'm Joel Osteen. If you love Joel Osteen, don't get mad at me. Don't throw things at me. I think he's a cool dude. I don't like his voice, how he goes, brother. But anyway, he's still a cool dude, all right? He's still a cool dude, and he's in God's word. I promise you that. But it seems like if you go, after you leave, you feel like you just owned a Lexus or a Mercedes. I'm not telling you today that you're going to go outside and there's going to be a brand new Lexus out there that has your name on it. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you truly give, if you truly give your time, your money, your things to God, give it to him, he'll bless you in an amazing way. It'll change your life. It'll change your heart. And he can do things with it that you couldn't even fathom. I promise. All right? Okay, I'll cut on the money deal. All right, let's look at big rocks. Since we got big rocks in our life, and we want big rocks in our life, but sometimes we leave the big rocks out until the very end, and it's just not the way it's supposed to be. So check it out. In Proverbs 17:24, it says, an intelligent person aims at wise actions, but a fool starts off in many directions. Let me finger that up for you, give you a little rednecking, okay? My life looks like a covey of quail sometimes. All you guys know what I'm talking about. You ever been walking through the woods and that covey of quail come up and you almost poopy in your pants? That's exactly the way my life starts out sometimes. In the mornings, you know, we're like, oh my goodness, we're late. Here we go. And we start going in every different direction. We get all these things going. We got business going here. We got kids going here. We got church stuff going here. We got this going here. We got this going here. Whoa, where's God in all this thing? And what happens is that God's saying, dude, you're being foolish. But God, I'm late. I got to hurry up. God, I'm running behind. Put me first and I'll bring everything back in order. I promise. But the problem is we won't do that. We know the answer. It sounds good. I like it. I mean, that's a great answer, Andy. I even get it. I ain't going to do it, but I get it. What if we did it? There's your challenge. Put him first. No matter what's happening in that day, no matter how late you wake up, no matter what's going on, you take time, put him first. And I promise you, things will order up in the end of the day. That's his word. That's not Andy's word. That's his word. All I can do is I can tell you from experience. And the thing about it is, I know from experience, and I still don't do it all the time. And there goes that covey of quail. And I'm like, gosh, how are we going to get through this day? And we do. It may be me yelling at Amy, or me yelling at the kids, or Amy throwing something at me, or, you know, we get through it, but it ain't the way God wanted it. It's not the order that God wanted it, because we didn't put him first. Check this out. I want you to, this is one of these quotes right here that can actually make the refrigerator or even your bathroom window, okay? Or mirror, not window. The distance between the truth you know and the truth you live equals the pain you experience. I'm going to get to read that again because y'all didn't get it. Because everybody thought he got it, your eyeballs have got that bingo. You right, dog. All right, check it out. The distance between the truth you know and the truth you live equals the pain you experience.